Hey guys, it's Mathel here once again with the end game update on the Energy Blade Rage Vortex Inquisitor, and it turned out pretty damn good. I wasn't entirely sure where it would go, but I knew there was a build there somewhere, and it was about finding kind of how nice it would be to play and if it's worth doing in general. And if we're going to call this a melee build, well, this is pretty much the best melee build I've played for Uber content by possibly a long shot. It is a bit disingenuous to call it melee, right? I mean, I'm just throwing out a big ranged attack and then AFKing while it does damage, but at the same time, it's melee scaling, it's using melee totems, it's using the melee tag, is what it is, melee build, and it slaughters the Ubers, as you'll see in a second. The build itself did go through just a couple little changes here or there, and it can be done much more, well, effectively, I should say, with Ivory Tower, using the Guardian Righteous, I can't remember what the fuck's called, using the Guardian reserve node that gives you armor and extra energy shield. With those, you could get a seriously larger amount of ES and much thicker on the character itself, and ultimately make a much better build. This is kind of like the budget version, and the only really difficult thing to get is split personalities, but currently, according to my POB, with our everything up sort of attack, we're at 60 million DPS. That includes both totems, and that includes Rage Vortex when it's fully buffed. So it's not going to be all the time, but when it does happen, it's pretty big. And taking out split personalities, for example, drops me to like 50 million DPS. So that's without even changing the passive tree and just like losing 10 passives or some shit. So it is realistically doable to replicate. It's not the hardest build to put together in the end. It is a bit janky until it's all together though, until you've got a good ES pull, some good life, and attack speed, crit at basically its maximum, and higher levels essentially. And it also does take a bit of getting used to playing. Like, it took me a while to get used to playing Rage Vortex with this sort of a character until it felt kinda normal to map with, because you have to like stutter your Rage Vortexes, you got to position yourself a bit better, got to use your war cries, which is a big annoying part of this entire thing. So this is where the Ubering starts. Killed all of the Ubers in the end, and some better than others, but pretty much 2 or 3 deaths on most of them, which for a first try on most of them is not too bad. But yeah, as you can see, there's going to be some problems. Uber Cirrus, for example, pretty damn shitty of a fight as always, but pretty much a lot of his damage is chaos based as well, and as such, you can see the life pool going down. So I was still just mentioning the war cries. That's kind of a tough one. So I started using Intimidating Cry, which doubles the damage of your Rage Vortex in its entirety. So if you have Intimidating Cry up and then prop the Rage Vortex out, the entire thing is going to be double damage. The Battle Mage's Cry is the most important one though, because that gives most of our damage essentially to the skill, and you have to be near the enemy for Battle Mage Cry buff to get used for the Warcry power. So if you use Battle Mage's Cry when you're not like too close to something, then you lose a lot of your damage for like 7 seconds or some shit, which is pretty annoying. But once again, it's one of those things you got to get used to. And one of the real perks of this as well is being able to just turn off Energy Blade during certain phases if you get used to doing that. And I can go from 7k Energy Shield to 14k Energy Shield immediately, and all of a sudden have a much bigger buffer for doing things. That said, there could have been better sort of refinements to the build still. I didn't have Energy Leech in the end. It was going to be my next few levels, but I just couldn't be fucked leveling. Could have had more Energy Shield as well. And if you did go the Ivory Tower sort of route, you can definitely get up to about 9 or 10k Energy Shield if you try it really hard. And you then reserve all of your life though. So the other kind of issue for Rage Vortex is multi-targeted enemies don't feel too good, because you can only have one Rage Vortex out at a time, and you set up like kind of meticulously your one Rage Vortex. So you can see for the Feared here, I killed the first target, not a problem, but then you gotta have the right setup for the second one, and there's still lots of others trying to kill you. But it's a bit of a learning process. And once you do get the right setup, you do have really, really big damage. And the totems can also help a lot. Like my totems at this stage are maybe like 15 to 20 mil in DPS, but there's going to be plenty of times where they're just dead, right? So that doesn't help all of the time. It's just an assistance, and I did use my War Chief for clear every now and again whenever I needed it to, just because Rage Vortex can get clumsy for a single direction, and there can be more spread out maps, etc, etc. So for a lot of the things, for a lot of the fights, it was really good having Rage Vortex, and Maven's one of them. She, you know, blinks around a lot, but just getting to put down the one Rage Vortex after like getting a good setup and then just focusing on dodging was pretty damn good. But once again, if you get your big setup out and then it's at the wrong time and the boss teleports away, then it feels really bad and you're just standing there doing like a bit of nothing for a while, because you need to get your war cries up, you need to get your totems down. At least, luckily, with this type of build, we're completely crit capped, so like the damage there is always reliable. You don't need flasks for your crit or really any high rolls or power charges, anything like that. So the damage is typically reliable whenever you can do your little setup, and I think it ended up being the cleanest Maven I'd ever done. Not ever, but this league maybe. Cleanest Uber Elder I'd done this league, and cleanest Searing Exarch of the Uber variety as well. So I'm going to leave you with the Searing Exarch. It's still going to be a shit fight, it always is, unless you're building a really, really, really good character. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the content, and potentially one of the most fancy builds I've made for a while, and see you next time. Fucked up big time. I thought it was I didn't have Energy Blade on my bars. I was trying to turn off Energy Blade, and instead I pressed some other shit and fucked myself over. Best phase clean. It was super clean. I had a very good grasp on my rotation for that period. I think that could have been actually deathless if I had Energy Blade where it needed to be. Dude, I tried to blink back, but it didn't let me. I wasn't gonna try and risk turning off Energy Blade again, I'm too special. Just not used to it. Okay. Dude, he's actually being a super fucking cunt. They could have done alright, honestly. But yeah, it's just like annihilation, and I kind of fucked up my rotation a bit. That's as clean as it gets for an X-Arc for me, honestly. For an X-Arc, basically never gonna get cleaner. Basically as clean as it'll ever get. Basically. Fuck that boss.